So this is something that I put together the other day. It's not comprehensive, it's not perfect, but I think it's a good discussion tool for today. Um, at the top, I've got flow states, ecstasis, the root word for ecstasy. It's a Greek word meaning out of your body, out of your mind, stepping out of yourself. And boundary dissolution. All of these things are quite similar. And the authors of Stealing Fire did a beautiful job describing some of these things. But the point of this is just to show you that the psychedelic experience is just a family member on a larger family tree of similar experiences. Not the exact same, but the underpinnings of these experiences, they overlap. The traumatic experience, the story that I told you earlier, kind of falls into this category. It's a non-psychedelic, boundary dissolving experience. But like I said, in the context of shifting my perspective and changing my sense of self, to this day, it was the most psychedelic experience I've ever had. The items on the lower tier, the lower rung, if you will, those are kind of more distant cousins. So I don't expect people that you talk to or people who take my workshop to have had a near-death experience. I think very few people have. So I like to talk in terms of more common social boundary dissolution as a way to connect the dots a little bit. Even depatterning, travel and recreation. I think there's a few folks on the meeting today that are part of the Transformational Travel Council, this great group. It's a worldwide organization, but it's based in Seattle. And the whole purpose is travel adventure and self-improvement retreats and really transforming oneself through travel. And it's very, very similar to the psychedelic experience. I was just reading through the website of a travel business here in Oregon who happens to be part of this organization. And if you take certain excerpts from his description of his services, it sounds like a psychedelic experience, all about shifting one's circumstances, resetting oneself, getting the tools to keep going and keep growing. It was really cool to read it. And had I not known that I was reading a travel website, I would have thought it might have been a psychedelic retreat website. Authentic experience of awe. Charlie Grob talks a lot about this. Standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. If you go there and stand there and catch somebody staring off into the distance, they'll do that for a few minutes and quite speechless because they're starting to realize their place in the world. They're having a momentary boundary dissolution that is affecting them. Childhood, the time in life when pre-self-judgment, pre-self-reflectivity, pre-boundaries is an example of boundary dissolution or lack of boundaries. Genuine eye contact, even something as everyday as that. How many people do you know hold genuine eye contact with you? It's kind of rare. And it's a boundary dissolving bonding experience. It might be our species' original boundary dissolution is genuine eye contact. And it also requires a little bit of surrender. A lot of people are afraid of that. And the psychedelic experience is all about surrender, as we know. And lastly, none of us would be here today if not for some act of boundary dissolution. Physical love, procreation, that is an act of boundary dissolution. So these are just talking points and tools that you can potentially use in languaging your own understanding of psychedelics, at least the foundational theme, and beginning a conversation with somebody else.